The letter trembled in my hands as the world crashed around me. $250,000. Gone. Just like that. The college fund I'd spent 17 years building for my daughter had vanished into thin air. I'm Anna, and until today, I thought I was living proof that hard work and determination could overcome anything. Starting with nothing but a food truck and a dream, I built a successful catering company that serves half of Boston's elite. Every extra penny went into Emma's future. My daughter would have opportunities I never had. Mom? Emma's voice drifted down from upstairs. Have you seen my blue sweater? Check the laundry room, honey, I called back, struggling to keep my voice steady. The acceptance letter from Stanford lay on my kitchen counter, mocking me. Emma had earned her spot. Perfect grades, volunteer work, the whole package. But now... My phone buzzed. Deborah's name flashed across the screen. My mother-in-law's timing was impeccable, as always. Anna, darling, her sugary voice made my stomach turn. I simply must know if Emma's wearing the pearl necklace I gave her to prom next week. Deborah. I cut her off, my voice ice cold. The college fund is empty. Care to explain? Silence crackled through the line. Then, oh, that. Well, there were some unexpected investments. Investments? I gripped the counter so hard my knuckles turned white. You were supposed to be managing that account for Emma's future, not gambling it away at Mohegan Sun. Don't take that tone with me, Deborah snapped. I am still your mother-in-law, and... You're my ex-husband's mother, who convinced me to let you manage Emma's college fund because of your financial expertise. Was that all a lie, too? These things happen in investing, Anna. You'll simply have to get over it. Perhaps Emma should consider community college. It would be more appropriate for your situation anyway. The line went dead. I stood there, shaking with rage, when Emma appeared in the doorway. Mom? What's wrong? I turned to face my daughter, my beautiful, brilliant girl who deserved the world. Her blue eyes, so like her father's, were filled with concern. Nothing, sweetie, I forced a smile. Just a work issue. Did you find your sweater? She nodded slowly, clearly not buying it. Are you sure? You look really upset. Actually, I hesitated. Why don't we grab coffee? There's something we need to discuss. 20 minutes later, we sat in our favorite corner booth at Joe's Cafe. Emma wrapped her hands around her caramel latte, waiting. The thing is, I took a deep breath. There's been an issue with your college fund. What kind of issue? Grandma Deborah. She was supposed to be managing it, investing it safely. But instead, my voice cracked. Emma's face paled. It's gone? All of it? I nodded, watching my daughter's dreams crumble before my eyes. I'm so sorry, baby. I trusted her and she... Does Dad know? Not yet, but he will. I reached across the table, taking her trembling hands in mine. Listen to me, Emma. This changes nothing. We'll figure it out. I'll take out loans, work double shifts, whatever it takes. You're going to Stanford. Emma pulled her hands away. I can't believe Grandma would do this. She always said... Her voice trailed off as tears welled up in her eyes. I know, honey. I know. My phone buzzed again. A text from Deborah. Don't make this into a bigger deal than it needs to be. Family should forgive family. I stared at the message, my jaw clenched. Forgive? The woman had stolen my daughter's future and had the audacity to demand forgiveness? Mom? Emma's voice was small. What are we going to do? I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. In that moment, I made a decision. Deborah thought she could manipulate and steal from us without consequences. She thought wrong. We're going to fight back, I said quietly, and we're going to win. Emma's eyes widened. What do you mean? It means, I said, pulling out my phone to call my sister Lacey, that your grandmother is about to learn a very important lesson about family and trust. As I dialed, my hands stopped shaking. Calm settled over me like a shield. Deborah had no idea what she'd started, but she was about to find out exactly what happened when you crossed the wrong mother. Lacey, I said when my sister picked up, I need your help. It's time we had a proper family reunion. Look at this, Lacey said, spreading bank statements across my dining room table. Every month, like clockwork, $5,000 transferred to an account in Atlantic City. I leaned over her shoulder, scanning the documents. And Emma's college fund? Drained gradually over 2 years. Lacey tapped her laptop screen. Deborah covered her tracks well, but she got sloppy near the end, probably desperate. My sister had always been the detail-oriented one. While I built my business, she became a forensic accountant. Now her skills were proving invaluable. There's more, she continued. Remember Cousin Peter's inheritance from Aunt Marie? The one he supposedly lost in the stock market crash? Lacey's eyes narrowed. Deborah was his financial advisor, too. The pieces were falling into place. I grabbed my phone, scrolling through recent texts. Marcel called yesterday, said Deborah's been acting strange, taking mysterious trips. To casinos, no doubt. Lacey closed her laptop. Anna, this isn't just about Emma's college fund anymore. Deborah's been stealing from the entire family. A knock at the door interrupted us. Emma burst in, followed by her friends from the volleyball team. Mom, is it okay if we have pizza here? Practice ran late and... She stopped short, taking in the papers scattered everywhere. Of course, honey. I started gathering the documents. Hi, girls, the menu drawer is in the kitchen. Thanks, Anna. They rushed past, giggling. Emma lingered, her eyes fixed on the bank statements. More bad news? Just doing some research, I said carefully. Go be with your friends. She hesitated. Mom, I know you're planning something. I'm not stupid. Emma, just don't do anything crazy, okay? She turned and followed her friends. Lacey waited until the kitchen door swung shut. She's worried about you. She should be worried about her grandmother, I muttered, pulling out my phone to show her Deborah's latest text. Looking forward to Emma's birthday dinner tomorrow? I have a special surprise planned. The nerve of that woman. Lacey shook her head. Are you still going through with it? Of course. Can't let her suspect anything's wrong. I forced a smile. Besides, the whole family will be there. Perfect opportunity to observe. The next evening, my catering company's finest setup graced Deborah's sprawling Victorian home. Emma's 18th birthday dinner was in full swing, with family members scattered throughout the house. Anna, darling, Deborah air-kissed my cheek. The food is divine, as always, though perhaps a bit simple for such a special occasion. I maintained my smile. Emma requested her favorites. Yes, well... Deborah adjusted her pearl necklace, probably bought with stolen money. Speaking of Emma's preferences, I've been thinking about her college choices. Stanford is so far away. The local university has an excellent program. Mom, Raymond, my ex-husband, called from across the room. Have you seen my wallet? Check your coat pocket, dear, Deborah called back, but I caught the flash of panic in her eyes. I excused myself and found Lacey by the dessert table. Notice anything? Besides Raymond missing his wallet? She smirked. Marcel's been watching Deborah like a hawk all evening. Think he suspects? Maybe. Did you see how she reacted when Emma opened the envelope from Stanford? Like she'd swallowed a lemon. Lacey paused. Speaking of envelopes, I got an interesting call today. Remember that tip you received? Before she could continue, a commotion erupted from the study. Raymond's voice boomed through the house. Mom, what the hell is this? We rushed to find Raymond waving a stack of papers, his face red. Deborah stood frozen by the desk. Raymond, dear, those are private... Private! These are withdrawal slips from my investment account. He turned to Marcel. Dad, did you know about this? Marcel's face went ashen. What? The room fell silent as Emma appeared in the doorway. What's going on? Nothing, sweetheart, Deborah said quickly. Just a little family discussion about finances. I watched my daughter's expression harden. She wasn't buying it anymore. Anna, Ruben, my business partner, touched my arm. Maybe we should serve the cake now? I nodded, but my mind was racing. This was just the beginning. Raymond's discovery would plant seeds of doubt, but I needed more. The family reunion next month would be my real opportunity. As we gathered around the dining table to sing Happy Birthday, I studied Deborah's face in the candlelight. Her perfect mask was cracking, Soon it would shatter completely. Emma caught my eye across the cake, her expression worried. I gave her a reassuring smile, but inside, my resolve hardened. Deborah had built her house of lies on the backs of her own family. Now it was time to watch it burn. Make a wish, sweetheart, Deborah called out as Emma prepared to blow out her candles. I already had my wish, justice, and I was going to make it come true. A family reunion? Marcel's voice crackled through my phone speaker. Now? It's been 5 years since the whole family got together, I said, keeping my tone light. After everything that happened at Emma's birthday party, I think we need this. I suppose you're right, he sighed. We can host it here. The garden's lovely in June. Perfect. Marcel and Deborah's house was exactly where I needed this to happen. That's so generous. I'll handle all the arrangements. Anna. Marcel hesitated. Have you noticed anything unusual about Deborah lately? Like what? She's been receiving strange calls, disappearing for hours, and after what Raymond found. Maybe we can talk about it at the reunion, I suggested carefully. In person. After hanging up, I opened my laptop to check the guest list. Each invitation had been strategically planned. Cousin Peter, still bitter about his lost inheritance. Aunt Marie, who never believed his stock market story. Raymond, now questioning everything. The pieces were falling into place. My office door creaked open. Emma stood there, arms crossed. A family reunion? Seriously? I thought it would be nice. Stop. She stepped inside, closing the door. You've been whispering with Aunt Lacey for weeks, making secret phone calls. Now this? What are you planning? Emma, no more lies, Mom. I deserve to know. I studied my daughter's face, so young, yet so perceptive. Sit down. She perched on the edge of my desk, waiting. Your grandmother didn't just take your college fund, I began. She's been stealing from everyone. Cousin Peter, your dad, even Marcel. And the reunion is what? Your chance for revenge? Justice, I corrected. She needs to face what she's done. Emma's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then held it up. Grandma just texted me. Says she's worried about you, that you're acting erratic since the investment mishap. My blood boiled. Investment mishap? Mom. Emma's voice softened. I'm mad too. But this plotting, these secrets, it's changing you. Before I could respond, my own phone chimed. An anonymous email. Regarding Deborah, there's more. Meet at Joe's Cafe, 3 p.m. tomorrow. What is it? Emma asked. I locked my screen. Work stuff. She stood up, hurt flickering across her face. Right, more secrets. Emma, wait. But she was already gone, the door clicking shut behind her. The next day, I arrived at Joe's Cafe early, scanning the crowd. A man in a dark suit caught my eye and nodded toward a corner booth. Mrs. Anna? He extended his hand. I'm David. I work for the State Gaming Commission. My heart raced. Gaming Commission? We've been monitoring your mother-in-law's activities at several casinos. The patterns suggest a serious gambling addiction, but that's not why I'm here. He slid a folder across the table. We've uncovered evidence of money laundering. My hands shook as I opened the folder. Bank statements, casino receipts, photographs of Deborah with known criminals. Why are you showing me this? Because she's not just hurting your family anymore. We're building a case, but we need witnesses willing to testify. I closed the folder. I need time to think. Of course. He placed his card on the table. But don't wait too long. That evening, I found Emma in her room, studying. Can we talk? She didn't look up from her textbook. Are you finally going to tell me the truth? I sat on her bed. I'm trying to protect you. By becoming just like her? Emma slammed her book shut. Grandma lies. She manipulates. And now you're doing the same thing. Her words hit like a slap. This is different. Is it? She finally met my eyes. Because from where I'm sitting, you're both just hurting the family in different ways. My phone buzzed. Another text from Deborah. Looking forward to the reunion, darling. though I do hope you're not working too hard on the arrangements. You seem stressed lately. Emma read the message over my shoulder. She's playing you, Mom, and you're letting her. I'm trying to make things right. No, Emma stood up. You're trying to make her pay. There's a difference. She walked out, leaving me alone with my thoughts and David's business card burning a hole in my pocket. The reunion was 2 weeks away. I had set everything in motion, pulled all the strings. But as I listened to Emma's door close down the hall, I wondered if the price of revenge might be higher than I'd calculated. The question was, could I stop now, even if I wanted to? My phone buzzed again. Lacey, you need to see this. Another victim just came forward. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and made my choice. There was no turning back now. The reunion buzzed with forced cheerfulness as family members filled Marcel and Deborah's backyard. I watched from the catering table as Deborah worked the crowd, her laugh just a touch too bright, her gestures slightly too animated. Everything's ready, Reuben murmured, appearing at my side, though I still think you should let me handle the service staff. No, I said firmly. I need to oversee this personally. He touched my arm. Anna, I've known you for 10 years. This isn't you. You don't know what she's done. Actually, I do. He nodded toward Emma, who was helping younger cousins fill their plates. And so does she. Maybe it's time to... Anna, Deborah's voice cut through our conversation. Darling, the appetizers are divine, though perhaps a bit heavy on the garlic? I plastered on a smile. Just following the recipe you gave me, Deborah. Family secret, remember? Her eyes narrowed slightly. Before she could respond, Cousin Peter approached. Deborah, he said coldly, we need to talk about Aunt Marie's inheritance. Peter, dear, this isn't the time. When is the time? His voice rose. When you've gambled away someone else's future? Heads turned. Deborah's smile faltered. Peter, Marcel stepped in. Perhaps we should... No, Dad. Raymond appeared, drink in hand. Let's hear what Peter has to say. In fact, I have some questions too. I moved among the guests, topping off wine glasses, catching snippets of conversation, Aunt Marie cornering Deborah about bank statements, Marcel questioning missing jewelry. The whispers grew louder, the accusations harder to deflect. Emma caught my eye from across the yard. She shook her head slightly before turning away. Dinner is served, I announced, directing everyone to the elegant tables set up on the lawn. As family members took their seats, I noticed Deborah's hands shaking as she reached for her water glass. Raymond sat as far from her as possible, while Marcel looked lost, caught between loyalty and suspicion. Before we eat, Deborah stood, raising her glass. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Family is everything to me. Is it? Peter interrupted. Is that why you told me the stock market crashed when you actually... That's enough, Deborah snapped, her composure cracking. I will not be accused. Mom. Raymond's voice was quiet but firm. What did you do with my investment account? The garden fell silent. Even the children stopped chattering. There were complications? Deborah's voice wavered. Complications. Aunt Marie stood up. Like when you complicated away my sister's inheritance? You don't understand, Deborah pleaded. I had a system. I was going to win it all back. The words hung in the air. Marcel's fork clattered to his plate. Win it back? He whispered. Deborah, what have you done? She turned to him, desperate. Marcel, I can explain. Explain what? Raymond demanded. How you stole from your own family. How you gambled away Emma's future. I did not steal. Deborah's voice rose hysterically. I borrowed. I was protecting our family's assets. By betting them away at casinos? I couldn't help myself. Is that what you call protection? You. Deborah's eyes locked onto mine. You orchestrated this, didn't you? Turned my family against me? You did that yourself, I said quietly. Every time you lied. Every time you stole. Mom? Emma's voice cut through the tension. She stood, tears in her eyes. Is it true? Did you really gamble away everything? Deborah's face crumpled. Emma, sweetheart, I never meant... Save it. Emma pushed back her chair. I don't want to hear any more lies. She walked away, disappearing into the house. I moved to follow, but Reuben caught my arm. "Let her go," he murmured. "She needs space." The evening dissolved into chaos after that. Marcel retreated to his study. Raymond stormed out. Aunt Marie demanded financial records. Through it all, Deborah sat silent, her perfect mask finally shattered. As guests began leaving, I overheard a conversation that made my blood run cold. "Did you hear?" one cousin whispered to another. "Someone called the Gaming Commission. They're investigating her." I froze. I hadn't made that call yet. Which meant... My phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Deborah's house of cards is falling. Tomorrow's papers will be interesting. You're not the only one she betrayed." I looked up to see Deborah staring at her own phone, her face ash white. Whatever was coming, it was bigger than I'd planned. Later, as I packed up the catering supplies, Emma appeared beside me. "Happy now?" she asked quietly. "You got what you wanted." I watched Deborah through the window, sitting alone in her once perfect garden. "Did I?" "Mom," Emma's voice cracked. "What happens next?" I wished I knew. The revenge I'd planned was spinning beyond my control, and somewhere in the chaos I'd lost sight of what really mattered. "I don't know, honey," I admitted. "I really don't know." The morning headlines hit like a tsunami. Local socialite under investigation for gambling fraud. Deborah's photograph splashed across the front page, emerging from a casino with a man I didn't recognize. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Lacey sent a string of messages. "Turn on the news. Channel 7. Now." I flipped on the TV just as Emma came downstairs. The reporter's voice filled our kitchen. Allegations of extensive gambling debts and financial fraud spanning multiple states. Sources say Deborah allegedly used her position as a family financial advisor to... "Mom," Emma's voice was hollow. "Everyone at school will see this." Before I could respond, our doorbell rang. Raymond stood there, looking haggard. "Did you do this?" he demanded, waving a newspaper. "Call the authorities?" "No," I said truthfully, "but I was going to." He pushed past me into the house. "Do you have any idea what you've started? The police are at my parents' house right now." "Dad?" Emma appeared in the hallway. "What's happening?" Raymond's anger deflated at the sight of his daughter. "Hey, kiddo, it's complicated." "Everything's complicated lately," she muttered, grabbing her backpack. "I'm going to be late for school." "Emma, wait," I called, but the front door slammed behind her. My phone rang. "Marcel." "Anna?" His voice trembled. "They're taking her away. The police, they say there's evidence. Gambling debts to dangerous people." "I'm coming over," I said, already grabbing my keys. The scene at Marcel and Deborah's house was surreal. Police cars lined the driveway. Neighbors peered from behind curtains as officers led Deborah out in handcuffs. "This is all a misunderstanding," she kept saying, her designer outfit wrinkled, her makeup smeared. Then she saw me. You did this to me." "Mrs. Williams," a detective stepped between us. "Please keep moving." "She orchestrated this whole thing," Deborah shouted. "She turned my family against me. I trusted you," I shouted back, emotions finally boiling over. "We all trusted you. Emma's college fund, Raymond's investments, Peter's inheritance. Was any of it ever safe with you?" "You don't understand," Deborah's voice cracked. "I had debts. They were threatening me." The detective's head snapped up. "Who was threatening you?" Deborah's face went white. She pressed her lips together, suddenly silent. Marcel emerged from the house, looking decades older. "They found evidence, Anna. So much evidence. Bank statements, IOUs, letters from loan sharks." "Marcel," Deborah pleaded as they led her toward the police car. "Tell them I was protecting our family. Tell them—" "Protecting us?" Marcel's voice rose. "By stealing from our granddaughter? By gambling away our retirement? By getting involved with criminals?" "I can explain everything. Then explain this." He held up a stack of papers. "Explain why I found transfer records to offshore accounts. Explain the threatening letters from casino owners. Explain why our house is mortgaged to people I've never heard of." Deborah's carefully constructed world crumbled visibly. I was going to fix everything. One more bet, one more game. How much? I asked quietly. How much did you lose in total? She looked at me, tears streaming down her face. 3 million, maybe more. The number hung in the air like a death sentence. And Emma's college fund? Raymond demanded. Was that part of your gambling spree, too? I needed it for collateral, Deborah burst out. These people, they were going to hurt us if I didn't pay. I thought I could win it back before anyone noticed. I just needed more time. A black SUV pulled up. 2 men in suits emerged, flashing FBI badges. Mrs. Williams, one said, we need to ask you some questions about your connections to organized crime. Deborah sagged in the officer's grip. Marcel, please, don't let them take me. But Marcel turned away, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. I watched as they drove Deborah away, sirens silent but lights flashing. The woman who'd stolen my daughter's future, who'd manipulated our entire family, reduced to a headline in tomorrow's paper. Anna, Raymond touched my arm. Did you know about the criminal connections? No, I whispered. I just wanted her to admit what she'd done. I never thought... My phone buzzed. Emma. Just saw the news. Coming home. We need to talk. Looking at Marcel's broken expression, at Raymond's devastated face, at the neighbors recording everything on their phones, I realized Emma had been right. In my quest for justice, I'd helped destroy our family in a different way. The FBI agents approached us. We'll need statements from everyone. This investigation goes deeper than just gambling debts. As I nodded numbly, another text came through from an unknown number. Deborah's not the only one who'll pay for her sins. The house of cards is still falling. I looked up at the beautiful home where we'd celebrated so many family gatherings, where Emma had grown up visiting her grandparents, where everything had seemed perfect on the surface. Now I wondered what other secrets those walls held, and who else would be destroyed before this was over. The FBI wants to interview me? Emma's voice shook as she paced our living room. About Grandma? Only if you're comfortable, I assured her. They just want to understand when she started managing the college fund. This is insane. She collapsed onto the couch. My friends keep sending me links to news articles. Someone at school made a meme about it. The doorbell rang. Reuben stood there, holding a paper bag. I brought dinner. Figured you both could use it. Thanks. I managed a weak smile. Come in. He started unpacking containers of comfort food onto our kitchen counter when my phone rang. Marcel. Anna? His voice was rough. They're seizing the house. Something about evidence and liens. I don't understand any of it. Where will you go? Raymond's letting me stay with him. But Anna, there's something else. The FBI found documents about Raymond's trust fund from my father. My heart sank. What about it? It's gone too, all of it. And the signatures. They're forged. Mine and Raymond's both. Emma appeared in the doorway, her face pale. Mom? I have to go, Marcel. I hung up, turning to my daughter. Honey, stop. She held up her hand. I heard. More bad news, right? More proof that Grandma ruined everything? Reuben stepped forward. Emma, sometimes people we love... Don't. She whirled on him. Don't try to make this okay. None of this is okay. She turned to me. And you just had to push, didn't you? Couldn't let it go? Emma, no. You planned that reunion to humiliate her, to expose her. Well, congratulations, Mom. You won. Grandma's in jail, the family's destroyed, and I can't even go on social media without seeing our name dragged through the mud. I was trying to get justice for you. I never asked for this kind of justice. Tears streamed down her face. I just wanted my mom back, the one who taught me that kindness matters more than revenge, the one who always said we rise above hate. Her words hit like physical blows. Reuben touched my shoulder, but I pulled away. Everything I did was to protect you, I whispered. No. Emma wiped her eyes. Everything you did was to hurt her. There's a difference. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Raymond, looking exhausted. The FBI's questioning Dad now, he said, without preamble. They think Mom might have... God, I can't even say it. They think she might have been laundering money for some very dangerous people. Emma made a small, choked sound and ran upstairs. Her door slammed seconds later. "She's right, you know," Raymond said quietly, "about what this is doing to the family." "Oh, now you care about family?" I snapped. "Where were you when your mother was stealing your daughter's future?" "I should have seen it," he shouted. "I'm her son. I should have noticed something was wrong, but I was too busy with my new life, my new family, to see what was happening to my old one." Reuben stepped between us. "This isn't helping anyone. We need to focus on what comes next." My phone buzzed with another anonymous text. "Deborah's associates are asking questions. Watch your back." Raymond read it over my shoulder. "What associates? Anna, what haven't you told me?" Before I could answer, Emma's scream pierced the air. We rushed upstairs to find her staring at her laptop. "Someone posted Grandma's entire criminal record online," she choked out. "With pictures, security footage from casinos, bank records, everything." I looked at the screen. The post was everywhere, spreading like wildfire across social media. Comments ranged from mockery to threats. "I can't stay here," Emma grabbed her bag. "I'm going to Aunt Lacey's. Emma, please." "Don't follow me," she pushed past us. "I need space, from all of this, from you." The front door slammed for the second time that day. Raymond ran his hands through his hair. "I'll make sure she gets there safely," he said, heading after her. Left alone with Reuben, I finally let my walls crumble. "What have I done?" I whispered. "You exposed the truth," he said gently. "But maybe Emma's right. Maybe the cost was too high." My phone buzzed again. This time it was Marcel. "The FBI found something else, something worse. They're bringing in Deborah for more questioning. Anna, I think we're all in danger." I showed Reuben the message, my hands shaking. "Whatever's coming," he said, taking my hand. "You don't have to face it alone." But looking at Emma's empty room, at the chaos I'd helped unleash, I wondered if being alone might be exactly what I deserved. The revenge I'd planned had turned into something darker, more dangerous than I'd ever imagined. And now my daughter, the person I'd done all this for, couldn't even look at me. The courthouse buzzed with tension as we gathered for Deborah's bail hearing. Emma sat between Raymond and me, her first time speaking to me in 3 days. "All rise." Deborah entered in handcuffs, her designer clothes replaced by a prison jumpsuit. She looked smaller somehow, older. Her eyes scanned the gallery until they found Emma. The mask cracked completely. "Wait," she called out suddenly. "I need to confess something." The judge leaned forward. "Mrs. Williams?" "It wasn't just gambling." Deborah's voice trembled. "I was helping them move money, clean it. They said they'd hurt my family if I didn't." The courtroom erupted. Emma grabbed my hand, squeezing tight. "Order!" The judge banged his gavel. "Who threatened you, Mrs. Williams?" Before Deborah could answer, the courthouse doors burst open. 2 men in expensive suits strode in, followed by their lawyers. "Anthony." Marcel's face went white. "And Victor." I recognized them from photos in the FBI file. Casino owners with suspected mob connections. The same men from the anonymous tips. "Deborah, darling," Anthony's voice oozed fake concern. "Are you unwell? Saying such strange things?" "Don't," Deborah shrank back. "Please." "Mrs. Williams," Victor spoke smoothly. "Perhaps you're confused. Stress can do that." "She's not confused." Marcel stood up. "I found the letters, the threats, the photos of our family being watched." "Dad, sit down," Raymond hissed, but Marcel continued. "You used my wife's gambling addiction to force her into laundering money, then blackmailed her with threats against our grandchildren." Emma's grip on my hand tightened. I looked at her face. She was terrified, but her jaw was set in a familiar, determined way. "Grandma," she called out clearly, "tell the truth, all of it." Deborah turned, tears streaming down her face. "I was weak. The gambling. It started small, but then I lost more than I could repay. They offered to clear my debts if I helped them, said they'd hurt Emma if I refused." "Your Honor," Anthony's lawyer stepped forward. "These are baseless accusations. I have proof." Deborah's voice strengthened. Account numbers, recordings, everything. Victor's pleasant mask slipped. "You recorded—" "Order!" the judge commanded. "Bailiff, secure those men. Mrs. Williams, are you prepared to make a full statement? Yes. Deborah straightened her shoulders. I've destroyed enough lives trying to protect myself. It's time to make it right. The next hour was a blur of revelations. Deborah detailed years of money laundering, naming names, providing evidence. The FBI agents scribbled notes furiously. Anthony and Victor were led away in handcuffs, their threats echoing through the courthouse. You're dead, Deborah. Your whole family's dead. Emma trembled beside me. I wrapped my arm around her, and for the first time in days, she didn't pull away. I'm so sorry, Deborah sobbed, looking at us. The college fund, I didn't gamble it away. They took it, said it was insurance. Insurance? Raymond demanded. To keep me cooperative. They knew hurting Emma's future would destroy me more than any physical threat. I felt sick. All this time, I'd blamed Deborah completely, never considering she might have been a victim too. Your Honor, the FBI agent stood. Given Mrs. Williams' cooperation and the clear evidence of coercion, we recommend protective custody and a reduced sentence. The judge nodded. Agreed. Mrs. Williams, you'll be moved to a secure facility. Your family will receive protection until these men stand trial. As they led Deborah away, she stopped before us. Anna, you were right to expose everything. I was too scared to do it myself. Grandma, Emma stepped forward. Why didn't you tell us? We could have helped. Pride, shame, fear. Deborah's smile was bitter. Take your pick, but watching you all fight for justice, it gave me courage, even if it came too late. Marcel approached his wife. It's not too late to do the right thing. The right thing, she whispered. I forgot what that meant so long ago. The bailiff led her away. We stood in the emptying courthouse, the weight of everything pressing down. What happens now? Emma asked quietly. Now, Raymond said, we stick together, as a family. Protection details outside, the FBI agent approached. You'll all need to be careful until the trial. I looked at my daughter, remembering how this started, with my desire for revenge against a woman I thought I understood. Mom? Emma's voice was soft. I get it now. Why you pushed so hard. You knew something was wrong. I knew the money was gone, I admitted. But I never imagined... None of us did, Marcel said. We all failed to see what was happening. Failed to help her when she needed us most. My phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. Anthony and Victor won't go quietly. Watch your backs. I showed the message to the FBI agent, who nodded grimly. We'll increase security. This isn't over yet. Looking at my family, Emma, Raymond, Marcel, all of us shaken but standing together, I realized he was right. This wasn't over. But at least now we were facing it together, with the truth finally in the open. The morning sun streamed through Stanford's admissions office as Emma signed the final paperwork. After everything, she was actually here. That's the last form, the advisor smiled. Welcome to Stanford. I blinked back tears as Emma hugged me. We did it, Mom. You did it, I corrected. The scholarship committee saw your strength, not just your grades. The essay about family redemption probably helped, she grinned. Who knew Grandma's story would get me into college after all? My phone buzzed, a message from Marcel. Deborah's testimony finished. Anthony and Victor going away for 20 years minimum. She gets 5, with possibility of early release. Good news? Emma asked, seeing my expression. The best kind. I showed her the message. Justice finally, the real kind. We walked across campus, enjoying the California sunshine. My catering business had expanded to the West Coast, thanks to Ruben's management skills. He'd insisted on handling the expansion himself, letting me focus on family healing. Dad's plane lands in an hour, Emma said. He's bringing Grandpa to help move me in. Raymond and Marcel had grown closer through all this, father and son finding common ground in protecting what mattered most. Have you read Grandma's latest letter? I shook my head. The weekly letters from prison had become Emma's private connection with Deborah, a chance for both to rebuild what was lost. She's teaching financial literacy classes to other inmates, Emma said softly. Says it helps her feel useful again. We reached Emma's dorm building just as Raymond's taxi pulled up. Marcel emerged first, looking younger than he had in months. "There's my college girl." He hugged Emma tight. "Ready to make this place yours?" Raymond grabbed boxes from the trunk. "Where's your roommate from again?" "Portland," Emma said. "She's arriving this afternoon." As we carried boxes upstairs, I noticed Emma had packed the family photo from last Christmas, all of us together at the prison visiting room, even Deborah in her gray uniform, smiling genuinely for the first time in years. "Mom?" Emma touched my arm. "You're thinking too hard again." Just remembering where we started, how angry I was. We all were. She set down a box. But anger didn't fix anything. Understanding did. Raymond appeared with the last load. "Speaking of understanding, Deborah's lawyer called. The restitution payments are starting next month." "I don't want her money," I said firmly. "She insists." Marcel joined us. "Says it's part of making amends. Not just the college fund, everything she took from everyone." "Besides," Emma added, "she's writing a book about gambling addiction and financial fraud. The advance is already in escrow." A commotion outside drew us to the window. A family was arguing about dorm arrangements, their voices rising. "Reminds me of us," Emma said quietly, "before everything changed." "We're still changing," I replied. "That's not a bad thing." My phone buzzed again. Ruben sending a photo of our new San Francisco location. The caption read, "Ready whenever you are, boss." "You should go," Emma said, reading over my shoulder. "The business needs you too." "You need me more." "Mom," she took my hands. "I'm okay. We're all okay. Better than okay, actually. We're honest now. Real." Raymond cleared his throat. "Speaking of honest, I have something to say." We turned to him. "I was wrong to stay away all those years. Wrong to let Mom handle everything without questioning it. Wrong to not be there for Emma more." "Dad." "Let me finish." He straightened. "I'm moving to San Francisco, taking a job here to be closer, if that's okay with everyone." Emma hugged him fiercely. Marcel wiped his eyes. "Family stays together," he said gruffly. "However we can." A knock at the door revealed Emma's roommate and her parents. Normal people with normal problems, starting a normal college journey. "Hi," Emma stepped forward. "I'm Emma. Welcome to our room." As the families mingled, I watched my daughter navigate her new life with grace and wisdom beyond her years. She'd learned hard lessons about trust, forgiveness, and the complicated nature of justice. "She's going to be amazing," Raymond murmured beside me. "She already is," I replied. "We all are in our own way." My phone buzzed one last time. A message from Deborah. "Thank you, Anna, for fighting for the truth, for helping me find my courage, for letting Emma teach us all how to be better people." I showed the message to Emma, who smiled softly. "Reply back," she said. "Tell her we love her. Tell her we're healing. Tell her we're family, the real kind, not the pretend perfect kind." As I typed the response, I realized the revenge I'd sought had transformed into something far more valuable. Redemption. Not just for Deborah, but for all of us. Emma hugged me suddenly. "I love you, Mom. Thanks for never giving up." "On you? Never." "No," she whispered. "On all of us. On what family really means." Outside, the California sun painted everything in shades of possibility. We had survived the storm, emerged stronger, truer to ourselves and each other. It wasn't a perfect ending, but it was real. And real, we'd learned, was better than perfect any day.